vision, I saw massive halls with rows upon rows of beds. It reminded me of the old-fashioned Nightingale dormitory-style hospital wards of the earlier years. Tucked up in each bed was a heart, human hearts, our hearts. They looked like a combination of the actual heart organ and the representational heart symbol we see everywhere on greeting cards, jewellery and the like. Each heart was receiving treatment of some kind. Initially, I saw plump red hearts, but as I extended my vision, I saw hearts that were bleeding, wounded, broken and fractured. I saw hearts that seemed shrivelled and lifeless, and hearts that were closed off and encased. At the very centre of this busy place was a large desk, the observation station for those who were caring for these patients. Sitting at the desk was the one in charge. He was dressed in a physician's white coat. He commanded obedience and honour just by the power and awe of his presence. He was a huge, pulsating, living heart, and I knew that this was the heart of the Father. He did not have his finger on the pulse, so to speak. He was the pulse. He knew each and every heart intimately and knew exactly what they needed. His healing angels delivered his prescribed treatments according to given times. Surprisingly, some hearts would turn away on their beds and refuse treatments and medicines, and I saw others cover themselves with their sheets and hide. But many hearts were open to receive all that the Father desired to do. I will give them a heart to know me, for I am the Lord, and they will be my people, and I will be their God, for they will return to me with their whole heart. Jeremiah 24:7. Many of the plump hearts were being connected to infusion lines that were directly plugged into the Father's heart. I watched them grow in capacity, their hearts being stretched beyond the natural. With each contraction, they came into alignment and rhythm with Father's heart. This was a fascinating process to watch because it was both joyous and painful for the transforming heart. Other lines connected to the Father were transfusing lifeblood to hearts. There was a divine exchange taking place, and it was glorious to see. Many hearts were on operating tables under strong, illuminating light. Here the Father's master surgeon, the healer, was doing open heart surgery. His scalpel was sharper than a two-edged sword. He cauterized bleeding vessels by the fire in his eyes, replaced leaking valves, and even performed heart transplants. I'm going to give you a new heart, and I'm going to give you a new spirit within all your deepest parts. I'll remove that rock-hard heart of yours and replace it with one that's sensitive to me. Ezekiel 36:26, NIV. All through these procedures, the Ruach, the very breath of God, was breathing his resurrection life as the divine respirator into every heart. At the same time, I saw the Spirit hovering and brooding over beds where many angels had also gathered, busily working. The healer was performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation to hearts that seem lifeless, dead. Cast away from you all your transgressions which you have committed, and make yourselves a new heart and a new spirit. For why will you die, O house of Israel? Ezekiel 18:31. For thus says the high and exalted one who lives forever, whose name is holy. I dwell on a high and holy place, and also with the contrite and lowly of spirit, in order to revive the spirit of the lowly and to revive the heart of the contrite. Isaiah 57:15. I saw hearts being prodded and poked, the Father's finger pressing sorely into areas that made the patient squirm with discomfort. This often ended in a healthy lavage of tears of contrition. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Psalm 51:10. For the sorrow that is according to the will of God produces a repentance without regret, leading to salvation. but the sorrow of the world produces death. 2 Corinthians 7:10. At no time did the Father's heart deal harshly or in anger, and though some treatments were unpleasant, they were dispensed with great love, compassion, and mercy. My child, do not ignore the instruction that comes from the Lord, or lose heart when he steps in to correct you. For the Lord disciplines those he loves, and he corrects each one he takes as his own. Endure hardship as God's discipline, and rejoice that he is treating you as his children. For what child doesn't experience discipline from a parent? When punishment is happening, it never seems pleasant, only painful. Later, though, it yields the peaceful fruit called righteousness to everyone who has been trained by it. Hebrews 12:5-7, 11. My son, do not ignore the Eternal's instruction or lose heart when he steps in to correct you, because the Eternal proves his love by caring enough to discipline you, just as the Father does his child, his pride and joy. Proverbs 3:11-12. Some hearts were being pressed between fiery devices and apparatus that did not seem to belong here. When I asked for understanding, the Lord showed me that these were for testing, and even though the devices were not of him, the testing was being done under divinely controlled conditions. The pressure would produce the desired strengthening and softening and maturing of the heart to enable its faith capacity to grow. It would also bring to the surface those things that are hidden, that they may be appropriately dealt with. Through faith, God's power is standing watch, protecting you for a salvation that you will see completely at the end of things. You should greatly rejoice in what is waiting for you, even if now for a little while you have to suffer various trials. Suffering tests your faith, which is more valuable than gold. Remember that gold, although it is perishable, it is tested by fire, so that if it is found genuine, you can receive praise, honor, and glory when Jesus the Anointed, our liberating King, is revealed at last. 1 Peter 1:5-7, the Voice Bible. Don't run from tests and hardships, brothers and sisters. As difficult as they are, you will ultimately find joy in them. If you embrace them, your faith will blossom under pressure and teach you true patience as you endure. And true patience, brought on by endurance, will equip you to complete the long journey and cross the finish line, mature, complete, and wanting nothing. Happy is the person who can hold up under the trials of life. At the right time, he'll know God's sweet approval and will be crowned with life. As God has promised, the crown awaits all who love him. James 1:2-4, 12, the Voice Bible. Dear ones, don't be surprised when you experience your trial by fire. It is not something strange and unusual, but it's something you should rejoice in. In it you share the Anointed's sufferings, and you will be that much more joyful when his glory is revealed. 1 Peter 4:12-13. Beloved, it is clear that God is dealing with the matters of the heart for each one of us. None of us are exempt. He's getting to the heart of the matter, and we must make our hearts vulnerable and surrendered to his probing finger. We are not to hide from the illuminating searchlight of his truth, nor are we to harden our hearts towards his corrections. The fiery trials that press so heavily and painfully on our hearts are to bring any dross to the surface and to purify our hearts. He is cleansing and comforting, correcting and restoring, healing and reviving, circumcising and renewing our hearts, if we allow him. There are some matters so deep within our hearts that we may not even be truly conscious of them. But God sees that which is hidden, and we are to seek him, for him to expose those areas and bring about his will and desire. Our heart must be wholly his. If there is woundedness, offence, unyielded pain, heart sickness, or sin, then our heart is divided. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbour as yourself. Luke 10:27. He is the lover of our heart and soul. He is passionate and jealous for our hearts. If our heart is healthy and pure, then it is flooded with light, and our whole body, soul, and spirit will be flooded with his light and life. Proverbs 4:23, Ephesians 1:18. For light is sown like seed for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Psalm 97:11. When you said, "Seek my face," my heart said to you, "Your face, O Lord, I shall seek." Psalm 27:8. I shall run the way of your commandments, for you will enlarge my heart. Psalm 119:32. Beloved, let us put our hearts in his hands and consent to all the Master Surgeon will do today. Let us be vulnerable and transparent before him and each other, contrite and humble, surrendered to his perfect will, for our hearts must become one with his in perfect unity and wholeness, pure in motive and intent, attitude and action, thought and word, full of unfailing love and compassion, kindness and tender mercies. This is the heart the world must see, the Father's heart in us. Heavenly Father, thank you that you are the lover of my heart and soul. Forgive me for the times I have been unyielded and hardened my heart towards you, turning away from you and from others. I choose to forgive those who have hurt and offended me and caused me pain. I release them from my judgments, and I bless them in Jesus' name. Lord, search my heart today and cleanse me from sin and all unrighteousness. Heal my broken heart, Lord, and bring wholeness where there are fractures. Purify my heart, Lord, and transfuse me with your life and love, that others would see the Father's heart in me. In Jesus' name, amen.